I want to focus just for these very few minutes on the increase of violence in Africa because of lockdown. So we work with a network in the Western Cape called Connect. We work in Harare with a network there. We work in Zambia. I just got my wrong city there. Mwanza. We're trying to kick into gear some work in Kenya again, and then the work in Kampala. And in all of those countries, South Africa suffered the greatest with COVID in terms of the number of deaths, but the children have suffered throughout. And in Uganda, schools were shut for over 80 weeks. They shut them in March 2020. And for the vast majority of children, they've only just reopened in January now. So there's a lot of children who haven't been to school for 2 years. And of course, one of the consequences of lockdown, if there's violence in the home and domestic violence and violence from some family member, is you're then locked with that abuser. And where do you run? Especially if there's no social system, you don't trust the police. So in South Africa, from April 2021 to June, so just in 3 months, there were 5,760 murders, 10,000 rapes, 487 of those were domestic rapes, 164 gender-based violence murders, so 60% increase in the crime figures. And then the last 90 days up to Feb, there's been 352 child murders in South Africa. And a lot of it is related to gang warfare in the townships. But for whatever reason, it's just horrendous, and the crime statistics are escalating. In the same manner, in all of the networks, there's reports of significant increase in the percentages of violence against children and largely against women. I haven't heard any reports of increased violence against men, although I don't doubt that that is there. And of course, a lot of families in Africa rely on very small businesses, small family businesses, and long lockdowns basically wiped out those businesses and a lot of savings, if they had any at all. And so it feels very much like, in spite of the countries largely not suffering from COVID as much, the impact of the lockdown is going to take generations to clear up. For the break in education, children who have missed the early years or missed some years, a 25% increase in teenage pregnancy in Uganda, and all of the consequences of that, 33% increase in child labor, and children then get used to not being in school. So how do you recover those situations? So the networks are trying to respond to that. And any of you who know particularly the situation in Uganda, within days, the network staff were out and about with special passes, moving children between organizations and police stations and whatever, just trying to help those situations. So the 3 prayer requests, which we'll see on the slides at the moment, are really related to those safeguarding things and the initiatives that the networks have already taken, working with police, government, changing the law, getting systems strengthened so that abuse is reduced, and where abuse happens, that there's strong interventions to help put a recovery in place.